everyone, this is Stephanie Manley. You know me from copycat.com. This video is one of my Learn to Cook series videos, and today we're making cream of celery soup. You don't need to buy it in a can, you can make it at home from scratch. It's really, really easy. This recipe has a few simple ingredients in it. We're gonna put in celery. We're going to use a white onion. I like the white onions because they're sweeter than the yellow ones, so we're gonna use a white onion. We're gonna use butter. We're also gonna use flour. We need a little bit of milk, and we're gonna use some salt. So that's all that you need for this recipe. The first thing that we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and melt our butter in a pan, and we're going to combine that with about a tablespoon of chopped white onion. So I'm just going to slice off a little bit of onion here, and I'm gonna cut it really fine because we wanna make sure that it is completely done and cooked all the way through. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna combine our butter and our onion, and we're gonna let it cook for just a couple of moments. You're gonna let it cook until the onions become translucent. So while this is in here cooking, we're gonna go ahead and chop our celery. We need about 2 cups of celery. So you just wanna cut your celery into a small slice. So I'm going to cut it in about a 2 to 3 inch piece. Then I'm gonna cut each one of those pieces in half. Then I'm gonna try to get my celery just as finely chopped as I can. And you can go ahead and leave the leaves in here, or you can take the leaves out. It doesn't really matter. Believe it or not, they taste just like celery too. So go ahead and continue chopping your celery. So while your onions are cooking, go ahead and add about a half teaspoon of salt to them. All right, and when you get a cup of celery measured out, go ahead and add that to the mixture. Let that cook, and we'll go ahead and continue cutting our other cup of celery. All right, so I went ahead and added that other cup of celery, and now I'm gonna add the flour. And now we're gonna let this cook for about a minute or so. We're making a roux, and we've made roux many times before. We use them when we make gravies or anytime we wanna thicken a sauce. So you know that whenever you cook a roux, you need to let it cook for a minute or so to let the flour cook all the way through so it doesn't taste raw. So we'll come back in about another 30 seconds and we'll start adding some milk. So if you pour in just a little bit of the liquid at the time, you'll see that it gets nice and thick and it thickens up. Make sure you're on at least a medium heat for this to happen. So we're gonna add our milk in about 4 different portions. The first time we're gonna only add about a quarter of it. We're gonna stir this in. We'll let the sauce get thick. We'll add another quarter of it. We'll let it get thick, and then we'll add in the remaining milk. So we've added in the remaining bit of milk, and we're gonna need to let this cook for about 15 to 20 minutes over a low to medium heat, so you may wanna turn down the heat just a little bit. You want the celery done. You don't want it crunchy when we enjoy the soup. So we'll come back when the soup is done. So we have finished our cream of celery soup. We just let this cook for about 10 to 15 minutes on a low to medium temperature. And you know what? It's really good now. The celery is soft, it's tender, and you've never had celery soup so good. Be sure to serve this with some of our delicious popovers, another one of our Learn to Cook videos here on YouTube. Drop me a comment down below of what recipe you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching.